In this video, I'm going to give my complete breakdown and opinion of episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. Let's go. Welcome back to the Old Head Reviews channel. Once again, I'm your host, Joey Sparks. That's 2 E's, no Y. You heard me. That's 2 E's, no Y. And in this video, I'm going to give my complete breakdown and opinion of episode 2. But first, I need to give you a spoiler warning. So right now, check out if you haven't seen episode 2 yet. Don't worry, I'll still be here. And before we get started, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. All those things help me in the algorithms. With that out of the way, let's get into it. And in order to get through it all, I have to go through this fast, okay? So buckle up, here we go. This episode opens up with Fennec Shand taking that assassin prisoner to Boba's palace, where they will interrogate him on who sent him to kill them. Who sent him to kill them. Got it. Of course, this ninja assassin doesn't want to talk, and so they use the Rancor pit as a little bit of torture, if you will. So just like in Return of the Jedi, the hole opens up in the floor, and the assassin slides down, and as the Rancor door opens, the assassin gets scared and tells Boba that he was sent by the mayor. And a second later, the door completely opens, and we see that there hasn't been a replacement monster in there. We cut to Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, and the guards showing up at the mayor's establishment. Soon as they show up, Boba asks, "Why did you send this assassin to kill me?" And the mayor has him killed immediately. That puts me on super alert for the mayor. The mayor goes on to tell Boba Fett he did not send that guard to him. The mayor tells Boba Fett, "You shouldn't be worried about me, but you should be worried about who sent those assassins." And as he leaves, he gives him a piece of ice. And running a family isn't the same as being a bounty hunter. He tells him he'll find out more about his assassins if he goes back to the cantina. So when Boba Fett shows back up to the cantina, the Twi'lek seems a little sketch. And Boba even calls it on it. Says, "Hey, the mayor said you might know something about my assassins, and now you're sweating." Come to find out, the reason she's sweating is because the twins have showed back up to take Jabba Hutt's territory. Now, we don't get the twins' names, but the twins are part of the Hutt family. They are those creatures, and I guess these two are cousins to Jabba the Hutt. We get one of the dopest intros for like the underworld of the Star Wars universe that I've seen thus far. The beating on the drums, the Hutts being held up by their workers as they're walking down the street, literally wiping the sweat off themselves with small animal fur while the animal's still alive. It just kind of shows what the Hutts do. They take advantage and use people. The Hutts proceed to tell Boba that they're going to take over Jabba's territory, and then we get the introduction to Black Chrysantan. I'm just going to call him Black K from here on out. Black K is a Wookiee. He's actually a Wookiee bounty hunter that's like super respected and revered to be like one of the toughest Wookiees out there. We've seen him in prequels and comic books and stuff of the like, but this is the first time we're actually focused on him. Boba Fett stands firm and tells the Hutt, "You have to kill me. This is my territory now." The Hutts say that bloodshed is bad for business, so the Hutts and Black K turn around to leave. But before they do, the Hutt brother says, "Sleep lightly, bounty hunter." So we should expect a return visit from them sometime in the future. This is where the current story ends and we get back to the Bacta tank. And so far, as we learned from episode 1, when he goes into the Bacta tank, we get more flashbacks. In this flashback, we start off with Boba doing a little bit of gaffy stick training. That gaffy stick is the stick used by the Tuscan Raiders. He's getting training. We can tell by this scene that he's getting more and more accepted within this specific Tuscan Raider tribe. So much so that they take him out on a mission, a moisture mission. I think a moisture mission where they go get those black melons that hold that watery substance. Well, while they're on a gathering mission, a train-like transport comes speeding by. And this train-like transport starts taking fire at the Tuscan Raiders. Of course, this is a big problem anytime they go out because this transport seems to come back and forth quite often. Well, Boba has decided that he is going to earn more respect from this tribe by going to put a stop to it. In order to do that, he had to go grab some speeder bikes. We show up to a bar here on Tatooine. This bar is the same place that Luke says he'd like to hang out back in episode 4, A New Hope. Outside of this bar, you see a bunch of speeder bikes. Boba wants those speeder bikes, but he knows he just can't take off with them. He's going to need to kill the gang that owns them. And as he goes in, he sees this gang being mean to a pair of patrons. If you know anything about the Star Wars universe, in a deleted scene from episode 4, A New Hope, there were a pair of Luke's friends pictured in this very same bar that they used to hang out. Boba Fett lays waste to these gang members and takes their speeder bikes back to the Tuscan camp. Then we get a nice little montage where Boba Fett is teaching these Tuscan Raiders, who deal very little in technology, on how to ride and operate these speeder bikes. Well, they use these speeder bikes to board the transport train. They end up taking out the people who were running this transport train and then taking them hostage. We find out that they're part of the Pike Syndicate. The Pike Syndicate we first saw in Solo, Han Solo's solo standalone film. These people peddled spice. Spice is a drug in the Star Wars universe, quite similar, I think, to the drug in another popular science fiction movie. Boba takes his first step into ever controlling a territory way before he got to our present day story in this moment. Boba Fett tells the Pike Syndicate that this specific territory belongs to the Tuscan Raiders. They can pass through there, but they will have to pay a toll. And once again, another scene that gives me more Godfather vibes. Boba Fett and the rest of the Tuscan Raiders take their bounty back to the camp. And here at the camp, Boba gets a full-on acceptance. He gets a lizard that goes up in his nose and almost kind of creates this trippy high that allows him to go out into the desert and find himself. Kind of similar to like peyote or ayahuasca or something. Well, he ends up at the end of this psychedelical trip, he ends up at a tree. He brings a branch of that tree back to the tribe, and that branch of that tree will become his future gaffy stick. They also do another ceremony where they wrap him in some of the tribe's traditional garb. He stands out there with his arms out to the side and lets the tribe members dress him kind of similar to how the robots put his contemporary armor on him in episode 1. They end up having a ceremonial dance at the end, and I think it closes out this episode nice. Let me talk about the things I super enjoyed about this. Once again, Godfather vibes, like paying toll and not being able to kill somebody without someone else's permission, which was probably another reason the Hutts didn't kill Boba Fett immediately. I also love the Westerns vibes again. Once again, train heist. Train heist. How do you board the train? On horse-like speeder bikes, right? Come on, man. I also think learning about this criminal underbelly of the Star Wars universe is one of this show's key points. Like, we're always hearing about how the good guy is trying to save someone from the bad guy. But we know, without a doubt, that crime goes on in all these planets, and we haven't yet to get to see a story told so close to it. And I think the Book of Boba Fett is doing a great job bringing us closer to it. They're able to pull things from the Star Wars universe that just gives it authenticity throughout the whole series. And then continuing to wrap up this Boba Fett origin story. It's almost like a rebirth, like he's being born again, like he was a bounty hunter, and then he got thrown in the Sarlacc pit, and then he came out, and now he's finding himself again and who he's going to be now, back while they're telling the story where he's with the Tuscan Raiders. But then flash forward here to the contemporary time where he is Boba Fett crime boss, is another rebirth scenario. Like, how is he going to be being this crime boss that wants to rule in respect and not fear? That's what I think makes this episode super, super good. I'm going to go ahead and say an 8 for this episode. I thought it was great. I had to take away for its non-linear storytelling. It just doesn't do that as well as other pieces of cinema has. Something makes me wonder, should they have told all the flashback stuff in season 1 of the Book of Boba Fett and then brought us up to speed when he kills Bib Fortuna for season 2? I don't know. It's working now. Could it have worked better if they did that? I can appreciate some of the themes that they're delivering to us during the flashback section, but I know the majority of viewers are going to feel that that part gets a little slow and sluggish. So for those two reasons, I have to bring the score down to an 8. Now, if I had to rescore last week's, I'd probably say 6.5. Disney, why don't you just release episodes 1 and 2 together? Because I think I would have appreciated episode 1 a lot more had I seen episode 2 right after it. Things I can't wait to see moving forward. I want to see more Black K. I want to see him. I want to see a fight with him and Boba Fett, even though Boba Fett is physically outmatched. I just want to see that. I want to see what kind of assassination attempt happens from the twins, because they're not going to go quietly. They can't do that. Okay, that'll do it for episode 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. I can't wait to see what you guys thought about this episode in the comments. So please leave a comment and I'll be there to discuss with you here soon. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And this is Joey Sparks signing off for Old Head Reviews. Peace.